Welcome to My The Asshole Podcast. Let's get into it. Today is Sunday. We got a beautiful Sunday episode for you guys today. I know you guys love when you get 3 episodes out of the week. And this is the week. So we have a lot on today's agenda for today's show. We have obviously our thread we're going to go over after the thread. I'm going to be talking about Love is Blind Season 7's reunion, because it was a bit of a spicy one. If you ask me, I was like, oh baby, we're going to talk about it, and then we'll get into you guys' submitted scenarios. So we got a lot to get through. Let's get to it. What's the most disturbing thing you've overheard that you were never meant to hear? All right, so let's see what disturbing things you guys weren't meant to hear. All right. Early in my career, I went from school to school to work with kids with visual impairments, some braille, some tech, okay? I was in a room for kids with intellectual disabilities and vision impairments, waiting for my student to come out of the bathroom. Two parapros in the room were talking about how they had to watch another student's pants in case they saw blood. One said, the dad got out of jail, so we have to report it if we see blood on her butt. What the? I know they were talking to me, but I know they were not talking to me, but I heard. I must have done something with my face because the classroom teacher came over and asked what I had heard. She told me that the girl's dad raped his daughter, but did it anally to prevent pregnancy. Yo! While he was in jail, their mom married him so he would be living with them, and the mom was pregnant. I wish I had stood somewhere else that day. I waited for my student. Wow. Oh my God. Imagine hearing something like that. And it would suck because you would feel like, fuck, now that I've heard that, I got to do something about it. You know, like there's no way in hell you would just be idly standing by. There's no way. You would just, oh, son of a bitch, dude. Wow. He said, I'm going to put it in my daughter's butt so it doesn't have pregnancy. That's crazy talk. Woo, man. All right, on to our next one. My goodness. I was traveling back home from a work trip last year. About an hour from boarding the plane, a woman on the seats behind me answered her phone and let out the saddest wail I've ever heard because the person on the other end told her that her son had died. It was extremely sad and weird to think that there were so many witnesses to probably one of the worst moments in her life. Yo. Oh my God. Dude, and that's so fucked up how the other person was just like, your son died? Like, bitch, shut up. Like, we're in public here, you know, you don't need to really share that with everybody on the fucking plane, you know, like, yo, what the fuck, man, that's not cool. I would be so pissed. I'd be like, what the fuck, bitch, what are you doing? Why are you just gonna blare that out to everybody? Like, not everybody needs to know that, you know. Whoa, bro. Woo, y'all. You guys are hearing in on some crazy shit. Man, because I know me being in the seat, hearing that, I would just be like, ooh, you know, like minding my own business. Like, bruh. Oh, that's tough. All right. What's the most disturbing thing you overheard? I was at a dance club in Mexico once. I was heading to the bathroom. There were a ton of people crowding the entrance, and they were quietly talking in a single conversation with each other. I do not speak Spanish. I figured it was just a line, so I queued up behind the group. Another local guy lined up behind me, and after a few minutes, tapped me on the shoulder. He and I had the following conversation. Do you speak Spanish? Lo siento, no English. These guys are planning on killing someone and are worried that you're listening to them. You should leave right now. So that was pretty scary. Bro. What? Imagine they're just like, hey, compa, come with me, brother. You know, we're gonna go do that, and they fucking murder you, or they try to murder you for like listening in on them. Yo, wow, Mexico is wild, man. Mexico is wild. That's why, for me, I've only gone to Mexico one time, and I was with a bunch of friends, and we went to Guadalajara, and it was cool. It was a lot of fun, but if I'm being honest with you, I'm so glad we were only there for 3 days because, and for me, I didn't have any crazy stories, nothing like that. Like, we went to clubs, we had a good time, you know, we went to a couple casinos, had a good time. It was fun, but if I'm being honest with you, you know, I hear a lot of horror stories come out of Mexico, man. You know, I hear a lot of them, and I'm just like, woo, baby Jesus. And that one had to probably take the cake. That's crazy. It was like, yo, they plan on killing somebody, and they think you're overhearing. Like, oh, shit. Like, I don't know nothing. Nothing, baby. Nothing. What? And my ears are broken. All right. What's the most disturbing thing you overheard? My mostly absentee father was killed by a train when I was 11, the Saturday before Father's Day. The next day I overheard my grandmother, his mother, telling someone on the phone that deputies had to walk on either side of the tracks collecting what was left in 2 body bags. Yo, that's crazy. My man exploded. Damn. My man's exploded. That's... Woo! God damn, man. Whoa, that's crazy. Damn, at 11 years old? Dang. All right. I was in the ER due to kidney stones. Overheard a man next door wailing because his father suffered from a heart attack during a baseball game they were at. We were at the ball game just having a good time. We were just having a good time. For a brief moment, I didn't feel any pain in my kidney. Yo, and that is so facts. Like, when you're in the hospital and somebody's got it worse than you, oh, bro, so many times you just feel like, yeah, my life is actually going pretty well. You know what I mean? Like, my life is going pretty fucking well compared to these guys. You know, and sometimes you kind of got to have those moments of just like humbleness of like, holy shit, my life ain't that bad. You know, in comparison, my life ain't that bad. They got it way worse, especially some of those people who are like so ill, they literally have to live in the hospital. Oh, that's gotta suck. You know, like, that's gotta be the worst feeling ever. Just because it's like you're literally just stuck in this hospital the whole time. You know what I mean? You can't go anywhere, can't do anything, can't see nothing. It just, that right there would just put me in a lifelong, you know, mode of misery. You know, I think it would put anybody in that. Like, bro, woo, facts, brother, facts. All right, what's the most disturbing thing you've overheard? My dad, probably drunk, telling me over the phone how he was going to kill my mom's new boyfriend. He thought I was her. I was 10. Yo! That's some crazy shit. Like, you're 10 years old and you're hearing your dad say that. Like, yo, if you could do that to mom's boyfriend, what the fuck are you gonna do to me? Like, you know? Oh, shit. Like, bruh, no, no. Man, wow. Moving wild. Oh, dude, some people just have the worst childhoods. God. All right, my father-in-law died after a routine hip replacement. His O2 levels plummeted and he suffered a heart failure. While he was brain dead in the ICU, a physician, okay, I don't know why I can't say that word, came to do his rounds with a group of residents. and they asked us to leave the room. So we sat in the waiting area outside the elevators. The group came out, and while they were waiting for the elevator to arrive, the doctor said to his students, and that is why you never give Haldol to a heart patient. And that is why my mother-in-law got a $150,000 settlement from the hospital. And that is why they have those little signs in hospital elevators reminding you not to discuss patients. Damn. She got a bag over that. That's crazy how they fucked up like that. And that's another reason why I'm afraid of hospitals. Because don't get me wrong, they don't mess up often. 100%. I give it that. You know, a lot of physicians and nurses and all that kind of stuff, they don't fuck up often, but they are human. And there are times that they can fuck up. And a lot of times, them fucking up is your life. You know? And so that's why for me, I'd be like, hey, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to work out. I'm going to eat right. I'm going to do my thing. Like, I ain't trying to go to the hospital for no reason because I can't stand it. Oh, it just freaks me out. You know what I mean? Just the possibility. I mean, if you think about it, the easiest way for you to die in the hospital is literally by air being inserted into your veins, going to your heart, and boom, you're done. Craziness. Like that little tiny thing could kill you. And that to me scares the absolute dog shit out of me. Oh my God. And I'm just saying, it's just one of those things where it's like, it be putting the fear of God in me, man. I swear I'd be sitting there thinking to myself like, nah, I can't do this. I ain't ready to meet Jesus yet. You know, help me. Oh God. All right. On to the next one. What is the most disturbing thing you've overheard? Probably less disturbing, more so chilling / saddening. I overheard a conversation between my mother and father when my father decided he was going to stop cancer treatment. He was ready to die. Oh, I had to stop at their house on my way back from work, and a really nasty storm rolled in, so I just spent the night. My mother is pretty hearing impaired. Okay, so she speaks loudly. From the guest bedroom, I overhear her say, there is still something we can do. So I went and listened outside their room. It was basically my father telling her that he is tired of the treatments and just wants to go. His cognitive function had already declined so much that he didn't feel like himself anymore. We all knew that this was going to happen eventually. He had received a 3-month prognosis and ended up lasting over 2 years. You don't rarely beat stage 4 brain cancer, so I wasn't disturbed or shocked or anything, just very sad. Hey, he got 2 more years though, and I think that is probably what made the difference in everybody's life, if I'm being honest with you, because that is probably one of the roughest things to go through. Just because my ex went through something like that with her grandmother where she had cancer, and it just got to a point where she was just like, I'm done. And, you know, a lot of times family can't let that go. You know what I mean? They're like, no, I don't want you to go. And you know, you could argue it's selfish to some degree, you know, just because we don't know what's going on with them. We don't know how they're feeling and how the treatments are making them feel. And, you know, because once they don't feel themselves and once they're just kind of out of their mind, it's like, you know, what else can you do at that point but just kind of make them feel comfortable? You know, like that shit is very, very tough. And have gone through it myself. It's like I can extremely sympathize, but I mean the fact that he got 2 more years you know, of life after that, man, he really must have had to fight though for those 2 years, which really probably put a, you know, huge damper in his life and family as well. But man, oh man, that's rough, brother. All right, what's the most disturbing thing you've overheard? My great grandmother, delirious on her deathbed, was talking to herself or a ghost, not sure, but she was saying that she was sorry for not protecting you/her. Okay. She went on to talk about her only baby daughter used to bang her crib against the wall. And one day my drunk of a great grandfather got sick of it and slammed her against the wall. She went to check on her and she was limp. She died 18 hours later. And my great grandmother buried her in the backyard. Oh, shit. So it must have been one of those things where, like, she was seeing her daughter. Whoa. Wow. That must be crazy. Just hearing that kind of conversation and knowing that story, like, whoo. Man. And it kind of makes you think too, like, dang, on my deathbed, like, who am I going to see? You know? Yeah, it makes you think sometimes, especially if you've seen a family member in that kind of state where, you know, they're just talking about, like, I'm ready to go home and, you know, I'm ready to, you know, go meet so-and-so or whatever the case may be. And you realize that, you know, so-and-so is actually dead and you're like, holy shit. And it kind of makes you think, like, everybody's going to be there, you know, eventually, you know, it's like, it's the inevitable, if I'm being honest with you. And so it's like, a lot of times I wonder who I'm going to see, you know, like, whew, tough thought. Let's not think about it though. Oh my goodness. All right. What's the most disturbing thing you've overheard? A girl at my high school telling her friend about the time she caught her ex cheating on her with his 13-year-old sister. Whoa. She called the cops on him. Yo, that's crazy. His little sister. Like, bro, what? Why would you even want to talk your little sister into that? Like, what the fuck? That's craziness. Wow. That is absolutely crazy. Whoa, okay. Oh my God. All right, I'm going to do 3 more. When I was 12, my parents got into a huge argument in front of me. My dad immediately then told me, I am going to do something that will make your mom laugh. I begged my dad not to do it. I knew he was going to try to off himself. Don't know why I had the feeling, but he didn't listen and he proceeded to walk into the garage and hang himself. That line, he said, still fucks with me now, even at 29. Luckily, I had years of therapy and counseling, but Jesus, does that line not stick with me? He said, I'm going to do something that's going to make your mom laugh. That would fuck me up too. Like, what do you mean she's going to be laughing? What? And then you knowing, like, what that means makes it worse. It's like, wow, okay, damn. Brother. Jesus, man. I mean, I'm glad that, you know, he got therapy and, you know, he went through it, but man, I don't even think therapy would fix that for me. Oh my God. I personally, man, I think just some people, it's like, man, you're just not fit to be a parent. You know, you're just not. And it sucks because a lot of times they don't realize it till years into the kid's life, you know. It fucks them up real bad like that. And it just makes them really think about, oh shit, you know what I mean? Like, it's too late. You know what I mean? Like, it's too late. You know, my kid's already 10, 11. Like, I can't do this anymore. And, you know, I have to do this for another 8 more years or, you know, possibly for the rest of my life. And some people just can't do it. They just can't do it. And they get to that point. And it's just crazy that you would get to that point, you know, because of your partner either not wanting to be with you anymore, or it's not the same, or, you know, you can't deal with kids. It's just, that's absolutely nuts to me to say something like that to your kid and then just be gone. Damn. All right. What's the most disturbing thing you've overheard? Probably my mom telling my dad I knew from the very beginning that me, wouldn't amount to anything. She probably said it out of anger and didn't mean it or whatever, but after all these years, I can feel my heart sink when I'm reminded of it. Damn. And honestly, that should just make you want to prove them wrong. That should make you want to prove them wrong. You just be like, hey, I'm about to prove you wrong, and I'm going to be something. I'm going to be something. I'm going to do something. Yeah. All right, this is going to be our last one. This thread is a bit dark, so I'm going to cut this one a little short. My goodness. All right, what's the most disturbing thing you've overheard? My mom would usually have her friend over most days, and they would sit in the kitchen and talk for hours. Mom's friend was not so recently divorced and was always talking about guys she was seeing on the regular. The dining room table where they'd sit and talk was right under my bedroom, and I'd always drown out their conversations with my stereo or TV. One day I was doing my homework and could hear them talking. Mom's friend had a daughter who was around 16, 17, and the friend was complaining that her daughter had massive boobs and she would get loads of attention, and she hated that all the guys would look at her daughter and not her. Okay. The friend then admitted she had been crushing up all kinds of diet pills into her daughter's food to stop her boobs from growing and maybe shrink them. I mean, what you're doing is practically trying to kill your daughter, bruh, over her having boobs. Like, bruh, come on, man. Like, what the hell is this? Why are you trying to compete with your child to that degree? That's a little wild to me, that you would want to compete with your child to that degree. Like, bro, what? You know what I mean? So much to where, like, you feel the need to then borderline poison your daughter. Like, what the fuck, in hopes that it's going to make her boobs small? That's crazy to me. That's fucking crazy to me. Like, for what? For what? Like, she's a kid, man. You know what I mean? Like, bro, what are you doing? Golly. Again, it just goes back to that some people are just not fit to be parents, but they get to a point where it's too late and they just do some crazy shit for no reason, man. God, but that's going to go ahead and be that thread, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that thread. I don't know. It made me a little uncomfortable. I was like, oh my God. People be overhearing some wild shit and some crazy stuff be happening to them, man. Goodness. But if you have any crazy thing that you've overheard that you wasn't supposed to, leave it down in the comments. Let your boy know. Get involved. And, yeah. All right. So I'm going to shoot through announcements, and then we're going to get to talking about Love is Blind's reunion. So patreon.com/MyLastPodcast, get an exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenarios to be featured on the show. The Tuesday and Sunday shows, like these people did today when we go over their scenarios. If you're an audio listener, go ahead and keep downloading the podcast, as well as rating us 5 stars if you haven't already. It helps out a lot. And guess what? It's for free. And if you want to help out even more on the free 99 side of things, go ahead and follow us on TikTok, Instagram, as well as YouTube. But without further ado, though, let's get into Love is Blind reunion, baby. Oh, man, was that reunion juicy. All right? Pretty fucking juicy. If you don't say so. If I don't say so myself. Let's see. It was good to see that Tyler and Ashley, they were doing their thing still. Their relationship, stayed strong and stuff, because I didn't really know how Ashley was going to take the whole, him kind of taking on those kids. Because I was like, I don't know how she gonna feel about that, you know what I mean? And I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with it, but like a lot of people have been trying to like expose those kids and like who they are and all this kind of stuff. And for me, I think that is super fucked up. Like, why in the hell? Like, he was talking about like their birth certificates are out there and their names and where they go to school and all this shit is out there. And it's like, yo, you guys have nothing fucking better to do than to be looking up some random dude's kids. Like, bruh, relax. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing, man? Damn. and he handled it so gracefully. I give it to him because that's jaunting, if I'm being honest with you. But hey, it seems like their relationship is doing well, and it seems like they worked out, nicely. So I give it to him. It was our boy Garrett, man. Our boy Garrett glowed up. I don't know what Taylor was, feeding this man, but my man walked in there like an Abercrombie and Finch model. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? You know what I mean? He's got the little blowback hair, he's got a little 5 o'clock shadow. He looked a little buffer, and the man's all dressed to the nines. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, man, that Taylor coochie changed him, man. Taylor's coochie changed him. He dipped his dick in there and was just like, I am a new man. I was like, yo, Garrett, my guy, where can I get one? Because it's your boy trying to have that kind of glow up. God damn. And then when we get into Ramses and the other girl, I'm so bad with names. It's always her name, I can't remember. But Ramses and his girl, I think Ramses, he just was a bunch of blah, 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 like, nigga, shut up. Because what it really was is that he didn't want to be married again. That's what it was. He didn't want to be married again. And what he did is, what he would do is he would have all these doubts, and he would have knowing that he didn't want to get married, but he would just continue to reassure her, because she would see it and be like, oh man, something is wrong. What's wrong? Is everything okay? Is everything all right? He would constantly reassure her. So, with him constantly reassuring her and then just breaking up with her, what seemingly came out of nowhere, for like us, the viewer, and her, it was just like, nigga. But for me, I kind of had this like suspiciousing doubt to where he didn't want to be married again. He just didn't want to go through it again. He didn't want to have that level of commitment with somebody again, because you got to understand, he's been married before. And as a guy, once you kind of been married once, you don't really want to do it again. It's just not something that you want to jump into, especially as fast as the experiment goes. So it was one of those things where it was just like, I don't think that Ramses was being very truthful in the words that he was saying. I think he was just kind of giving lip service, and he was just trying to appease to people because he's on television, you know what I mean? But the truth of the matter is, you didn't want to be married again. You didn't want to go through that again. I truly think that he did love her and did want to be with her, but I don't think he wanted to be married to her, because hell, she even said it on the reunion. She was just like, I was fucking that guy after the show. Like, yeah, no shit. Because Ramses loved you. He just didn't want to be married to you. Like, what the fuck are we talking about here? Like, come on, man. And I think even she knew that, if I'm being real with you. Yeah. I'm like, bro. And I guarantee you, off camera after the show, he even probably said that to her. He was just like, I love you and I actually care about you, but I just don't think that I could be married again. Like, I loved you and I loved being with you, but as far as marriage, I don't think that's just something I can do again. It's just something I don't want to get involved in again. And stuff like that. And I'm sure, her mom may have had a bit to do with that as well. Like, holy shit, I ain't really trying to marry this girl if her mom is like that, because her mom is a little crazy. Look, I get it. She's got her jaded past, but don't push that jaded past on your children. You know what I mean? Like, let your children kind of view the world with open eyes, and kind of give them wisdom situationally. You know what I mean? Don't just give them this blanketed view of the world because that's how you viewed it. No, it's like, let them view it with open eyes, and when they come to you like, hey, I have this situation, give that wisdom situationally, and I think that it will give your kids a bit of a better experience when they view the world and when they go out there, because they're not looking at it through jaded lenses automatically, like she is, because she's like, oh, marriage is a scam and all men are this and that and blah, 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 blah. I'm just like, bro, chill the fuck out, bro. Like, you're just too much. So again, like I said, their situation, I just think it was Ramses didn't want to be married again, and it was no surprise that they were still fucking after the show. Like, and come on, man. Now let's get into Hannah and Nick. Nick got thrown on the barbecue and absolutely burnt, bro. All right, he didn't get cooked. This man got burnt. Okay, he was left on the skillet too long. My man was so dark you could lose him at night. It was crazy. This man, you could throw him on the road and you'd lose him. I swear to God, my man was cooked. He was so burnt. It was crazy because Hannah was dishing out. The fact that, he tried to make it into this 90-day rule thing, like, bro, it don't matter. And like homegirl was saying, or somebody has said it doesn't matter if it's 90 days, if it's 180 days. The fact that you wrote down, I want to be the most famous person on Love is Blind is absolutely crazy to me. And that was something I didn't get from him the whole show. Don't get me wrong, I knew some people were on the show just for the blue check and just for the notoriety, 100%. Because I truly think that there were a couple people that were really on there, for that blue check, and Hannah was definitely one of them. I mean, you saw her in the reunion. If you didn't watch the reunion, definitely watch the reunion and look at the difference between her on the show and then her a year later, because her a year later, man, she lost all this weight. She, is looking all glowed up and all that kind of shit. And I'm just like, yeah, you definitely started that influencer career, didn't you? Like, God damn, man, if I'm being real with you. And honestly, she got raked through the coals a little bit about her looks, and I'm sure that kind of made her want to change her looks as well. But for the most part, it was just one of those things where I think Nick was he was there for all the wrong reasons. Homeboy was just, lying out of his ass through everything. And it's no wonder nobody believed him when he was talking, because it's like, bro, the proof is kind of in the pudding, my guy. You know what I mean? Like, at this point, just admit it that you were on the show for a blue check mark. You acted like you were in love. And I think that's why he clung to Hannah and was just like, I'm about to just choose a girl and, say anything and everything to get out of these pods and continue the show. And I think he wanted to go all the way to the altar just because he wanted to get as much screen time as he possibly could, because there were so many times where Hannah was just an unbearable chick to be with. I don't want to say a bitch, even though she called herself a bitch. I'm not going to say that, but there were times where she was very unbearable, and it was just like, oh my God, Hannah, what are you doing? And she even, saw that herself and was like, holy shit, I was kind of being a bitch, and although sometimes it was warranted, there were a lot of times where it wasn't, especially the whole thing with her friend or whatever, you know what I mean? I think that was a little too much, because it was like, if you're so worried about their conversation and what they're talking about, why didn't you just go over there? You know what I mean? You could have went over there. There was nothing stopping you from going over there and be like, what are we talking about? There was nothing stopping you. You didn't want to go over there for some stupid reason because you wanted to feel some type of way about it. But, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the reunion. But it did come up in the reunion. So it was like, and then they had this little fake ass moment where like, yeah, girl, I trust you. Oh my God, I love you. Like, shut up, fake ass bitches. You know what I mean? Like, get the fuck out of here. That was so fake. I was like, shut up. You guys don't love each other like that. I mean, like, come on, man. You're not about to talk shit about somebody on fucking TV and then just because it all came out, you all of a sudden, no, I trust you. I trust you, girl. I love you. Like, okay.
Stop the cap.
All right, then. Whatever. Sure. Amen. Now, after that, we get into Alex and Tim. Boy, woo! Alex and Tim, yo. They're like water and oil. You know what I mean? They are like water and oil, man. They don't mix well at all. And I think it's just one of those things where they were trying to make each other look bad so hard. They were trying so hard to make each other look bad. And I think that was just so fucking stupid. Now, don't get me wrong. My man Tim, he didn't do it first. Alex was the one that kind of started that fire. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because, you know, she was trying to undermine my man Tim's words, you know, by saying that, you know, he did all this and, you know, he never really like respected my time and all this kind of stuff. He didn't really care about how I felt in certain situations and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, sure, you could argue that to some degree, but at the same time, it's like, for Tim, he looked at it like, yo, when it was my time to show up and to show out, guess what? I showed up and I showed out, you know, but when it came for your time to show up and show out, you didn't want to do any of that. You put the littlest effort as you possibly could. You put in a passing grade, and that was that. Me, I tried to pass that shit with flying fucking colors for you, you know, and I understand all the bullshit that he said, you know, to her dad and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I say bullshit because I don't even really think Tim believed it, you know, all the words that he said that day, if I'm being real with you, just because, like Alex said, when they went to that dinner and he was just like, oh, I have some doubts about us and stuff like that. That truly makes me believe that everything that he not everything, but most of what he said to her dad was kind of some bullshit. And it was a bit of lip service. You know, if I'm being honest with you, I kind of feel like he probably didn't even believe half the shit that he said to him. And I can understand why Alex would get mad at something like that, because it's like, bro, come on, man. Why are you going to say all these sweet words? You're going to bring my dad to tears, but then on the same foot, you're going to sit there and say, oh, you know, I still got some concerns about us and I still got some doubts and all this kind of stuff. It's like, come on, bro. You could have told me this before you met my parents. You know what I mean? You could have told me this before you wrote the note and brought my dad to tears and all this kind of stuff. It didn't make sense, you know? Now, I understand why he ended things with her. And I get it. It's because he looked at it like, bro, you're not really supporting me as a partner should. You know, I'm trying everything that I possibly can, while all I'm getting is the bare minimum from you, and I'm asking for more, and then you'll give me that more, and then you'll be like, okay, cool, he's satisfied, back to the bare minimum. And that I think that showed a lot through Tim's frustration. You know what I mean? He was just frustrated with her. It was like, I'm finally getting the treatment that I want from her because I asked for it and I'm loving that. And then all of a sudden she goes back to the bare minimum when I feel satisfied. And that's frustrating. That really sucks, because it's like this up and down, like, bro, can't you just be up and stay there? Because that's where I'm at. You know, I'm giving you what you need and I'm giving you what you're asking for, and I'm staying there. I'm continuously trying to do that for you, you know, but it is what it is. I mean, like I said, there were some things with Alex, you know, I understood, you know, because I do understand, you know, working, you know, multiple jobs, and then you kind of feel tired. And I understand that his parents were there, and, you know, I get that there were some discrepancies between both their relationship, but, you know, I feel the frustration of Tim a little more, just because it's like, imagine asking your partner of something and they give it to you, but then once you're satisfied, then they go right back to the way they were, and you're like, bro, did we not just talk about this? You know what I mean? So it's understandable. They just, you know, I wanted them to keep going, because obviously there was a lot of details and a lot of underlining shit and a lot of off-camera shit that we obviously didn't get to see with their relationship, because I want to say their relationship was probably the least covered relationship out of all the couples, and they had the most problems. I was like, yo, Netflix, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, they're the biggest drama couple right now. You know, they actually got some real drama to chew on, and you guys are barely filming these niggas. You know, like they were probably the biggest drama couple aside from Nick and Hannah on this season. And I'm like, bruh, You guys barely, and I guarantee you, go back and watch it, and you're gonna see more of Nick and Hannah. You're gonna see more of Tyler and Ashley. You're gonna see more of Garrett and Taylor than you will of Tim and Alex. You hardly see Tim and Alex, man. They hardly film them niggas. So that's why I'm just like, bro, they had so much juice right here. And you got old, that one chick, I can't fucking remember her name. She's over here like, oh, you guys should talk outside. I'd been like, Tim, fuck that, bro. I ain't got nothing to say. The only reason I'm talking about it is because y'all niggas asked. Like, fuck out of here, bro. I think the awkward change of subject though was a little weird, because all of a sudden he was like, oh yeah, you and the boys, right? Yeah, you and the boys. What have you and the boys been doing? You could even see it kind of on Tim's face and everybody else. They're just like, oh, okay. And Tim's like, well, yeah, man, the boys, yeah, we hang out, you know what I mean? And yeah, we do the thing, we go fishing and shit. You know what I mean? It was just weird. It was awkward as fuck. I'm like, all right, Chris, or Nick Lachey, whatever the fuck his name is. I was like, you could have just moved on to the next couple, nigga. You know what I mean? You could have just moved on to the next couple, but you didn't. Hey, is what it is. They brought Leo and Brittany, and my God, Brittany was looking ugly as fuck, if I'm being honest with you. Man, I was like, bro, did you put enough makeup on? Fuck. That chick looked disgusting. I was like, wow. You see her in the show, right? You see her in the pods. Beautiful girl. Beautiful. You see her in the reunion and you're like, what the fuck is that? What is that thing? Who is that? Because I swear to God, she looked disgusting. I was like, wow. And she's like, yeah, I'm seeing someone now. And I'm like, yeah, that nigga's fucking you. He ain't gonna marry you. Let's be real. He's fucking you. He ain't gonna marry you. I was like, what in the hell? And they got on our boy Leo, they embarrassed him about talking about money and stuff. And our boy Tim jumped in and was like, he's a good guy, he's just very misunderstood and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, look, man, I get it. But Leo's a douche. All right, let's just be real, man. Leo's a douche. All right, he is. He's a douche, man. And I wasn't surprised when him and Brittany didn't work out. And it wasn't even like a vacation between them two. Brittany brought her fucking friend, the whole entire time. And it was just like, bro, she knew what she was doing. Her and her friend were just getting the experience off this nigga's back. And that's all they were doing. These girls were getting the classic Miami experience off of Leo's dime. And these girls didn't give a fuck about him. And Brittany definitely didn't. If she's bringing a friend, come on, man. And then the whole sipping, her drink or whatever, I guess that's weird. It's a little nitpicky, but whatever. She didn't really like that nigga like that anyway, so it don't really matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter, what she's nitpicky about or not, because she didn't like him like that anyway. And we knew that. We knew that from the moment the reveal came. And she tried to sit there and kind of lie oh no, that's not how I was feeling. I wanted him to kind of kiss me more to shut me up because I was saying stupid stuff and blah, 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 blah. But we all saw after he left, we saw how excited he was and how regretful you were. Come on, bro. There ain't no change in that. We saw it. We saw you sit there and just be like, what have I done? Come on, bro. We know you didn't like him like that. Leo is kind of a sucker for taking her to Miami, because I would have been like, piece of chicken grease, bitch. What the fuck are we talking about here? And I get it. Maybe Leo was trying to get him some, get him a little booty. I understand. Hopefully he did. But hey, is what it is on that one. Was that everybody? Steven and Monica. Monica wasn't having it. It didn't matter if this man had full on proof of everything. She wasn't having it, bro. And I feel Steven when he was saying, he's like, you know what? You guys aren't going to believe me. He's like, it doesn't matter what I say. He's like, it doesn't matter what I say, how much proof I have. It doesn't matter. You guys don't believe me. It don't matter. It does not matter. I could be telling you guys the truth till I'm blue in the fucking face and it won't matter. You won't believe me. And I was like, facts, brother. Facts. Because that is the quintessential experience of being a man in relationships. 100%. The moment you do something wrong or perceived wrong or whatever, that's it. Chicks cut you off and they don't believe anything that you say. And that's just what it is, man. That's what it is. And for him to kind of go up there and say that, I gave him props because I'm just like, facts, brother. Facts. They don't care. They're not going to believe you. It's why Monica was sitting over there with a stank look on her face the entire fucking time. She had a stank look on her face the entire time, like, he's trying to garner sympathy. He's trying to get people to feel bad for him. Like, bro, she didn't give a fuck about that nigga, man. She didn't give a fuck about him. And hey, it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. And like I said, I give kudos to Steven, bro. He manned up and he did what he had to do. And, he was just like, I wasn't out fucking no other bitch. I was actually doing a sleep test, like, yeah, me and her were texting, but I never met up with her, nothing like that, so, hey, it just is what it is, bro. It is what it is. But that's pretty much the whole recap of Love is Blind's reunion and everything that kind of happened throughout the season. I was going to cover the whole season, but then I thought to myself, nah, let's just cover the reunion because the reunion is the juicy part anyway. You guys can go back and watch everything else. But for the most part, yeah, man, it was a good season. It was a good season. There were a lot of people that were there for the clout, obviously. You know what I mean? And there were a lot of people who were actually there for love, and it is what it is. I think Love is Blind has gotten to a point where people are there for the clout and not really there for the experience and the chance to meet and marry somebody. I just think that died after like season 3. After season 3, I think people stopped wanting to go on that show for love and they wanted to go on that show for clout. And it's very evident, you know what I mean, in the last few seasons. I'm looking forward to season 8. I'm going to watch it. I'll cover it on here. We'll see what happens. We'll talk shit. Hopefully there's no shit to talk about, but we'll see. The people that were there from season 8, I was like, the 2 dudes and the girl, I was like, bro, y'all both look goofy as hell. And then the girl, she's just mid as hell. I'm like, all right, well, this is going to be a season. We'll see what happens. And you know what I mean? Like, hey, we'll see what happens. So, like I said, I'm gonna watch it. I'll cover it, and we'll go through that. I think it comes out next year in like February or something like that, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong, but yeah, we'll cover that. But without further ado, though, I got time for like 3 scenarios, so we'll get into you guys' scenarios right now. Okay, our first one is, am I wrong for not dating a woman because of my ego? Okay. I was talking to my buddy about a woman I went on a date with. We went out once and I thought it was great. We made out for a while after it ended. She texted me that she's seeing another guy and doesn't date multiple people and she chose the other dude. Really, nigga? Okay. Sometime later, she texts me after catching up, she tells me that she wants to try again. I asked her what happened and she told me it didn't work out with the other guy. I told her no, I wouldn't be able to shake off the second choice feeling. Facts. She hasn't texted me since. I told my buddy this and asked if I was too harsh and he agreed. But we were at a bar with some other friends and I guess his coworkers were eavesdropping. She told me that I was harsh and I should check my ego. I guess I want to get some more opinions on this. Nah, bro, fuck yeah. Fuck her. Because you have to understand, man, that if you would have gotten into a relationship with her, all you would have been is a placeholder boyfriend. That's all you would have been. 100%. She would have been in that relationship until something better came along. That is all that relationship would have been to her. And what you did is you recognized that and you were like, I'm not going to go through that. I'm not about to fall for a girl and, have all these feelings for her and, love her and be there for her and do all of this only for her to leave me for next man. Because I was the placeholder the entire time. Or you got with me to make old boy jealous so that way he would come crawling back to you. Like, come on, man. The signs are there. There's no ego involved in this. This was an educated decision of, sorry, I don't want to get hurt by this woman. So instead of getting hurt by this woman and going through all of this, I'm just going to gladly say no and I'm going to move on. Like, bro, what are we talking about here? Come on now. There's no ego involved. I can't stand when women try to sit there and say, oh, well, your ego got in the way. Oh, but it's just your ego. No, it's not. I am making an educated decision for myself. That's not my ego. My ego is not telling me, oh, I'm better than you. Oh, I'm not going to, date you. You're not worth. No, you just didn't amount up to what I wanted you to be. So bye. That has nothing to do with my fucking ego. I think women don't understand the definition of ego, if I'm being honest with you. Why? Because they throw it around so loosely. It's like if a guy doesn't want to be with them, or if a guy decides, you know what, I think it's best for me that I stay single or see somebody else, all of a sudden it's my ego. No. Where does my ego come into place with that? Where? Because I'd love to know. Me sticking up for myself is my ego? Like, come on, man. Like, get the fuck out of here. Just because you can't take an L? Sorry. Like, nah, man. If I was his buddy, I'd have told him, no, man, you made the right decision because you realized that relationship was not right for you and that she was just going to use you as a placeholder boyfriend because it was going to go one of two ways. It was either going to go one, he was a placeholder boyfriend and waiting for something better. Two, he was going to, she was using him to make that other dude jealous. So that way he would come back to her. And both those decisions fuck him over in the end. And I guarantee you he realized that to some degree and was just like, you know what? This ain't for me. No thanks. And he said it in a nice way too. I can't get that, second choice feeling, because that's what it was. You were the second choice, bro. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's not your ego and you're not the asshole. She's a bitch. Fuck her. You know what I mean? You did the right thing, G. Okay, am I overreacting? My boyfriend wants to sleep with other people because he missed out on it before we got together. Oh, man. Okay. Me, 29 female, boyfriend 29 male, and I have been together for 4 months. Damn, y'all only been together for 4 months? God damn. And he just recently confessed to me that he has been wanting to sleep with other people because I've slept with more people than him. And he feels like he missed out on that opportunity. I told him I'm not comfortable with that at all. And he says he wants me to meet him in the middle and open our relationship one-sided for 6 months to let him have those experiences. I'm absolutely heartbroken and disgusted at the same time, but I cannot tell if I'm overreacting or I should be patient with him. He said if he can't sleep with other people, he will resent me with time and end up married to me and wanting to cheat when he's 45. Am I overreacting? Personally, if he's feeling that way, go let him do it. But you don't have to be in a relationship with him to let him do it. You know what I mean? Like, who says you got to be in a relationship with this nigga to go let him do it? You could tell him, you know what? You go do that. You go sleep with as many people as you want, but you're not going to be in a relationship with me doing it. Hey, you know what I mean? I'm just saying. Like, you ain't got to be in a relationship with him. You could tell him, hey, go ahead. If that's what you want to do, go ahead. Because understand this. If you stay with him, and he's going to want to do it regardless. Okay? Even if he agrees, okay, let's not open the relationship. Let's, stay together. Eventually he's going to do it. You know what I mean? He already wants to so bad to the point where he is being honest with you, and that's great and that's fantastic, and that allows you to make a choice. But again, it seems like you don't want to agree to this, and so at the same time, why should you? Just, hey, that's what you want to do, you go do that. But I'm not going to be there at the end of this situation, It just is what it is. And I don't think you're necessarily overreacting to any degree. I just think that you looked at it like, you belong to the streets. You know what I mean? You was out there doing your thing, and then now you want to settle down. It's like, it just is what it is. That's the life that you chose, and now he kind of looks at it like, well, damn. I kind of want to experience that too. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. And he might be finally at that level where, a lot of women are attractive to him and stuff. Because you got to understand, man, when you were 18 and he was 18, it's not the same. When you're 18, you're at your peak. All the guys want you at 18. But him at 18, man, no girl wants him. You know what I mean? No bitch wants him. But now that he's 29, he probably got something going for him. He's doing his thing. While you're kind of on the decline, let's be real here. You want something more serious. And I think now he kind of wants something a little more casual. So if I'm being honest with you, if that's what he wants, you give that to him. You say, hey, do your thing, It's as simple as that, if I'm being real with you. You give him what he wants, but you don't have to be in the relationship for that. If you want to stay in the relationship and give him that, then that's your choice. But I'm saying that I would just give him whatever you choose to do. I would give him the right to do that. If you choose to stay with him and give him the right to do that, that's on you. If you give him the right to do that and you leave, then that's on you too. I would just look at it at that kind of lens. Like, okay, I'm going to let him do this. Let him go fuck other bitches, whatever. But the big question is, am I going to stay while he's fucking other bitches? Or am I going to go while he's fucking other bitches? I think that's the question you gotta ask yourself. You know what I mean? Because he's going to do it regardless. And he's going to either do it behind your back or he's going to do it single. That's up to you. I'm just saying. I'm giving you the harsh reality. A harsh reality right here. Do you want him to do it behind your back? Or do you want him to, do it while he's single? It's up to you. So, all right, this is going to be our last one in today's show. Am I the asshole for going on a date 3 weeks after splitting with my husband? Whoa, okay. My soon-to-be ex, 35 male, and I, 34 female, have been together 8 years and married for 4. We have 2 children, ages 3 and 1.5. We have been happy together. We haven't been happy together in a while. Long story short, we both made a lot of mistakes, sucked at communicating, and let resentment build up. 3 weeks ago, it all came to a head when we got in a huge fight over something very small, but it led to a much needed conversation, and ultimately we both accepted blame for each of our wrongdoings. We decided it was best to split up, co-parent, and file for divorce. There were no tears or heartbreak. We both felt a sense of relief and agreed that we will love each other because of our children and we deserve better. He filed for divorce the next day and moved out. I have no doubt that he'll continue to be a great dad and will co-parent well. But there was no way to reconcile. It's been over for a while. The other night I downloaded a dating app, matched with a guy, and agreed to grab a few drinks. The date was last night. First in over 8 years while the kids were with their dad. I know it's soon, but please understand that I've been mentally checked out of this marriage for a long time, and an acquaintance of my ex-husband saw me at a bar and I guess spread the word. This evening, my ex-husband texted me and wasn't happy. He said that while he doesn't expect me to stay single, he doesn't like being made to look like a fool. I asked what he meant, and he said, people don't even know we split up yet. It's embarrassing for me to find out that you're already in public with another man. He literally said, at least keep it behind closed doors for a while so I don't look like a sucker whose wife is running around on me. No. I've stopped responding because I'm not sure what to say. I'm not sorry for moving forward, and I can't help it that people aren't aware that we split. I can't be responsible for his ego just because he feels embarrassed that someone he knows may see me and assume I'm cheating. Am I supposed to make some kind of breakup announcement for dating? Am I the asshole for this? I don't think you are, because it's like, look, man, you have no say over her anymore. You know? You have no say over her anymore. You guys got divorced. You broke it up. It's over. That's not your girl anymore, man. That's not your girl. And so whether she's out on a date in public, whether some other people see it, you know what I mean? Like, your biggest thing should have just been, hey, yo, man, your wife was out with another dude, oh, yeah, we got a divorce. That should have been your answer, It's like, yeah, we got a divorce. It's over between us, I don't know if he was hoping that you guys would get back together, he probably gave you the divorce just, so that way you would spend some time apart, and then you would realize, oh man, I really do miss my husband. And I think that's maybe what he was thinking, like, oh, some time away from me and she'll realize her mistake. He might have been thinking that. I don't know. And that's probably why he got so mad the way he did. But if I'm being honest with you, bro, if you let a girl go, you can't sit there and be like, oh, I want her back, and oh, why are you out with another guy, and blah, blah, blah. Like, bro, that's not your girl no more. Yeah, I mean, that's not your girl anymore. And you got to understand that girls are going to move on a lot faster than dudes will. You know what I mean? And that's just sadly the truth, man. That's sadly the truth. Girls are going to move on way faster. Why? Because they can. They can. A guy can't go on a dating app and then a couple days later be on a date with another girl. Some guys can, but not all. You know what I mean? Not all can. And so it is one of those things where it's just like, you got to realize the moment you let her go, man, it's open season on her, and their guys are going to be lined up ready to fuck her. I'm not saying date her or take her serious, but they're going to be lined up to fuck her. Let's be real, especially if she's, anything somewhat attractive. Like, hey, it's the truth, man. It's the truth. It's a sad reality, but sorry. Truth don't give a fuck, man. It is what it is. It is what it is, man. So I don't think you're overreacting. I think that's what it was. Or I don't think you're the asshole for going on a date, 3 weeks after breaking up, because you're done. You guys are done. It's over. You guys agreed, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to co-parent. We deserve better and all that. He's just mad that you moved on faster than he did. Either that, or it's that he was hoping that, without him being around, that you would kind of get remorseful and be like, oh man, why did I do that? Why did I let him go? He was such a great guy. I miss him, and she was just like, nigga, I don't miss you for shit, But hey, is what it is. You guys let me know what you think about all these scenarios that we've gone over. The Love is Blind recap, as well as the thread that we went over for today. Hope you guys enjoyed today's beautiful Sunday episode. Love you guys all. I'll see you on Tuesday for a crazy, wacky episode. Then we have Thursday. We're going to be wrapping up A Court of Thorns and Roses. Baby Jesus, it's amazing. We're going to be doing Haunting Adeline Book 2, not next week, but the following week. So keep a lookout for that. You guys have been enjoying those episodes. I'm excited to get back into Haunting Adeline, as well as you guys are. You guys still comment about it to this day. Don't worry. I got you guys. I love you all. I will see you on Tuesday, and peace.